Hi guys, this is Scribbly again with another product review, and today we're going to have a look at a very interesting product, as always, which is the Aurora Optima. The Aurora Optima is the sibling of the Aurora 88, which I have already reviewed quite a while back. And today, as said, we're going to look at the Optima. I have been sent this pen by the kind people at Appelboompennen in the Netherlands, appelboompennen.com. Do check them out for goodies and beauties such as this. Thanks a lot, Joost, specifically to you over there at Appelboompennen for having shipped this product to me in order to bring it to all of you people. The Aurora Optima, before we look at it, does come in a extremely huge packaging, which is highly reflective. You can see the corona, pun not intended, of my camera ring right here, or rather of my camera lighting ring. Says Aurora, La Passione Italiana, something, Italian passion, sign of distinction. There's a nib on it. Very big, very reflective cardboard box. Opens in a cool way like this. Out comes another equally big box in a faux leather with the Aurora logo on top of it. Open it up. Made in Italy since 1919. Aurora. You get I got a coupon for a ticket shop to get a discount on the entrance for the Sign of Dream. What is that? Some kind of a museum beside the Aurora pen manufacturing thingy dedicated to some writing thingy. If that's something that you're into, please pause your video, check it out, visit the website. Have fun exploring. You'll get a manual talking about, history of Aurora, how to use your pen, and all of that good stuff. And of course, warranty. That was that. With that packaging, let's have a look at this pen. There it is. The Aurora Optima. I'll say it right away. A fairly small pen, a fairly short pen. I don't have a Sailor Pro Gear with me right here, so I can't do a direct side-by-side comparison, but if my memory isn't entirely misleading me, I would say that the Sailor Pro Gear is pretty much the size league that this pen right here is playing within. Now, not the Sailor Pro Gear Slim, but the regular Sailor Pro Gear. That's the pen that I'm referring to. Overall, similar design as the Sailor Pro Gear. Maybe that's also why it reminds me of it, which is a cylindrical flat top pen capped off on both ends, which is a bit thicker in the middle and tapers towards both ends. And as said, a shorter, thicker pen. We'll do a size comparison to my standard size reference pen in a wee bit. This is the black version of the pen with a chrome trim, I shall say. This pen is of course also available with a gold trim, and it is available in a number of different colors. Orange, yellow, I think, what have you. It's also available in the what Aurora calls the Auroloid, which is Aurora's celluloid. I'm not a celluloid material expert, so can't really tell you what's the difference between Auroloid and celluloid. Whether or not this is only a branding thing, or whether there's actually a difference in material. And those pens then are also slightly more expensive. This one here retails for €390. While I'm at it, let's discuss price. €390, is that outrageously expensive? We're looking at a piston filling fountain pen with a 14K gold nib, and other piston filling fountain pens with gold nibs, or interesting filling fountain pens with gold nibs that are in the realms of €400 are the Pelikan M400 to 600 or the Pro Gear Rialo, the Sailor of course, or a Pilot Custom 823 for instance. So no, it's not outrageously expensive. I think it's just smack in the middle of the price range of what you will quite likely pay for a fountain pen of that caliber and properties, which is not to say that you could not find a less expensive fountain pen that is also piston filling and has a gold nib. I'm just saying it's a fair price and it is priced in line with what you would pay for a similar competitor model, so to speak. But now let's look at the pen. Black, as said, plain finial. There's nothing to it apart from this little recessed ring right here. You have this Aurora clip, little bit of a teardrop shape, some good spring to it, not too tense, not too loose, has a ball right here, which is kind of nice because it makes it pretty easy to slide it into a shirt pocket or a pen pouch. Has a center band here saying Aurora, Italy, has a bit of a structure to it right here. I hope you can see that. I like it. It does look a little bit old school. Very nice. Has this Greek key pattern on it here as on top of it. You have the finial. You have a nice imprint on the finial with the Aurora logo and some other writing, which I'm not reading out loud here because my Italian is pretty rubbish, but I'll do like this so you can read it for yourself. I do think that this imprint also, this is the second time I'm bumping into this camera, I think, sorry for that. I think this finial, this imprint also does add to the overall classic old school look of the pen, little bit of a vintage look. I do like it a lot. And then you have a ring here, which does separate the piston turning knob from the barrel. As said, it's a piston filling fountain pen. And then you have this little recessed ring right here at the piston turning knob, which mirrors the recessed finial, which I think is very nice. It's a screw-on cap which unturns in or unscrews in 1.25 turns, which I for the ones that watch my reviews quite frequently, absolutely love. I am never worried that my cap will come loose, but I do think that 1.25 turns is a sweet spot for a quick note taker. I think 1 3/4 turn is where I do personally make the cut-off point, where it then does just become a tad cumbersome to unscrew the pen. We do have right here a lot to look at and a lot to talk about. First of all, we have a beautiful nib, 14K 585. Aurora, it does say as well. Sporting some scroll work. I like the wide shoulders of that nib, which are going down here on the sides quite a bit. I do like this design. It's a fantastic writing nib. I can already say that right now. Does write with a little bit of feedback, just as Sailor pens do. I seem to not be able to get rid of that Sailor reference in this review right here. But yes, that's what it is. Aurora is notorious or famous for the feedback of their nibs. Little bit akin to the Sailor nib feedback, which some people don't like. I personally do find it very, very pleasant. You have a feed down here and then the size designation of the nib, F for fine, in that case, is down here at the feet, pretty much in the same spot where Kaweco typically places their Kaweco 3-syllable logo. As said, this here is a fine nib. the Aurora Optima, Kaweco I was about to say, the Aurora Optima comes in a quite unusual array of nib sizes. I can't even recall them all. Check it out on the website. There's very, very few pen manufacturers nowadays. You'll be hard pressed to find anyone that does offer you a wider variety of nib sizes, obliques, and what have you than Aurora does. Absolutely stunning. Do check it out. We are also looking at a very long section that does taper down and then flare out again. Of course, that flaring is to prevent your nib from sliding down onto the nib, your fingers from sliding down onto the nib. I do think that this is very, very good, because this long section with no sharp threads at all, by the way, does allow you to actually really find your grip. You then have a very large, nice ink window, which is framed by 2 silver rings, which allows you, as you can see right here, to see the ink amount that is left in the pen. Aurora has designed a little reservoir thingy, very hard to explain how that actually works. I think I've done a not too shitty job at explaining how it works in the review of the Aurora 88, but what it actually is like a little nipple and a little cutout in the piston head, so to speak, and that somehow does that there's like a little bit of extra ink left, and in the end, when the pen is about to run dry, when you're about to run out of ink, you can just like screw down the piston turning knob, and that will sort of like latch onto that nipple and squeeze out the last little bit of ink, and you'll be able to get your emergency writing done. So that's a nice, neat little feature that a lot of people aren't aware of, that, but Aurora builds those into their 88 and Optima models, and maybe in some other models as well. So that's very, very nice. The pen, of course, posts. Posted or unposted, it's a great size for my fairly large hands. As said, size comparison to my standard size reference pen will follow in a minute. But as you can see right here, it's nice. What I also do find nice, as you see, I'm a lefty here. And this is one of the few pens where I can actually read the imprint, stamping, writing, whatever pen and pencil manufacturers tend to put on their pens. Most of the time, if you pay attention to it, you are only able to read those things when you're right-handed. This is one of the rare exceptions, thank you for inclusive design, Aurora, where I as a left-hander can actually, while using the pen, read the imprint, if I could speak Italian, but I can see it, which I find nice because I like the imprint. So, lefties you go. As said, works very well unposted for me. Posted, even better. From a feeling perspective, when you write the pen posted, it does even increase the pencilish feedback feeling a little bit. So unposted, less of that feedback, posted, more of that feedback. Why is that? The physicians among you maybe can explain that to me in terms of material science and frequencies and what have you. I don't understand it, but that's what it is from an experience point of view. So very, very nice, all of this. Let's do a size comparison to my standard size reference pen, which is a Lamy Safari. Well, Leiden. And you see what I meant when I before said that this is a fairly short pen. Now, the Lamy Safari is not exactly a small pen. Uncapped, that's what it looks like. Very interesting. That's why it lays so well in my hand, because uncapped, the pen is actually not very short, meaning that the cap does sit quite deep on the barrel. And then, of course, you do see this nice number 6 sized, I forgot to mention that before, number 6 sized nib. Beautiful. There you have it. Let's just do a quick, maybe with the cap. Now that we're at it, then it's actually quite No, it's aligned. Quite a bit longer than the Lamy Safari. Writing sample. Aurora Optima. Pen did not even dry out in the course of this review. Fantastic. And I had it uncapped for quite a while. Fine nib. I'm not sure if you can already hear the feedback when writing. I definitely feel it and it's beautiful. I personally like it a lot. Can you hear the feedback? As said, it's even more pronounced with the cap posted. The pen does have a medium wetness. There's a little bit of line variation that you can get out of that pen, but it's not a lot, and I would certainly not stretch it. Aurora does sell pens with flex nibs. If that is the kind of thing that you're after. I'm not. Then you can get that. This pen here, as a matter of fact, at least in my opinion, is a spectacular writer. Very, very consistent writer. Very, very nice writer. If you are into pens that do provide a little bit of feedback when writing with them, that is. Guys, that was that with the review of this Aurora Optima. Once more, I would like to thank Joost and the crew over there at Appelboom appelboompennen.com in the Netherlands for supporting this review and enabling bringing this review to all of you out there. I hope this review was useful. I hope you did enjoy it. And as always, I'd be happy to see you at the next review. Ciao, ciao.